What if following your dream is just marketing bullshit that actually doesn't work in real adult life? I decide to test it on myself. I just turned 33. Jesus Christ had already changed the world by this age, while I'm just trying to change my own life. I live in Thailand, but instead of sipping coconut on the beach, I spend 9 hours a day working as a coordinator in an international clinic. Stability, responsibility, serious face. Basically, I'm just selling my lifetime wholesale at fixed price, while my ambitions rot in a desk drawer. But the moment my shift ends, I start to draw again. And it's not just hobby for soul to relax after work, no. This is the direction I want to grow, evolve, and actually make money in, damn it! Also, this is the only one way not to turn into an office zombie. The problem is, I don't have 6 spare hours to fight an inspiration. I have job, I have bills, I have a real life that demand payment on time. And honestly, I'm done waiting for the perfect moment.
It's never coming.
The perfect moment is a myth, so I'm starting right now alongside my main job. Is it possible to turn your dream into income from absolute zero when you almost have no time? I'm going to find out. Target $3,000 from art. The stakes: my career and my free time. Timeline: 12 months. I will show everything: money, followers, orders, no filters. This will either be a story of triumph or an epic fiasco on live air. Starting the countdown. So, I'm launching the project $3,000 per month from art. The idea is very simple. I'm documenting everything from the first line to the first paycheck. What problems I ran into, how I solve them, where I screw up. Spoiler, I will screw up. The only question is where and how many times. No guru vibes. This is a measurable path, just raw numbers, graphs, and reality. The experiment is set for 12 months. I keep working full time, but I'm committing to 10 hours a week minimum for art and content creation. Even if, after the clinic shift, my only one desire is one-way trip out the window. I have obligations and responsibilities. I am not playing the starving artist game. What a shame, I am already too old to post TikToks while living with my parents. Every month, a public report. How much I earn, where I fail, what I learn. I will show you the behind the scenes that everyone else cover up with filters on Instagram. After a year, we will have the answer to the main question: can you build sustainable income without turning the rest of your life into ruins? And if the experiment fails, well, go ahead and call me a loser. At least it will be the honest result. Rules accepted, let's go to work. Okay, fair question. Why not 500? Why not a million? And why even in dollars? You're in Thailand, bro. Well, okay, kiddos, let me explain. First of all, I am working for the global market. Skill knows no border. Second, let's be real. How many of you even know Thai baht exchange rate? Come on. So, in my case, $3,000 is the level where art stops being extra money for beer and becomes a system. I'm not setting a goal to earn something. I'm setting a goal to reach a level that actually can replace my clinic salary. $3,000 sounds achievable. Definitely not easy, but achievable. That's why this is an honest goal. If after a year the income is consistently above $3,000 and there's a steady demand, well, I will consider the transition. Not a moment sooner. No impulse decisions, just numbers. Now, let's talk about the starting position. If we take off the rose-colored glasses, the situation look, quite sobering. Emergency found? No. Existing audience? No. Incoming order flow? No. A team? No. Marketing system? No. Passive income? No. All I have is my skill and the time that I cannot afford to waste. Every process, from idea to result, I do alone. Drawing, editing, writing for orders, content strategy, one guy, one MacBook, one iPad. Apple, buy advertising from me, please, please, please. That's why the main resource in this experiment is not an inspiration, not a muse, not a perfect lighting for filming, not even a cool banger on the background. The main resource is discipline. I have over 10 ways to monetize creativity in 2026 floating around in my head. The list is huge, and the temptation to grab everything at once is real, but instead I am focusing on the Holy Trinity: content, audience, commissions. Content builds the audience. Slowly, boringly, but it works. Audience is the foundation, without which everything else is collapses like house of cards. Commissions are money right now, my fuel at the start. In that exact order, don't mix them up. The first 3 months, 3 focuses. Period. It's not about scale, it's a test of grit. Can I create content consistently? Can I finish project when the enthusiasm is replaced by exhaustion? Can I be consistent? This is a test for me first and foremost. Speed is not as important here as sustainability. Better to grow systematically than sprint chaotically and burn out in a week. Once a month, a public pardon me report. I will show you everything. What I drew this time, how much I earned, how many orders I closed, how much the audience grew, my ideas, life hacks, and the most importantly, how many hours I actually put into art, rather than just procrastinating with the pen in my hand. No AI, Photoshop, or hustle culture fake success. We need to see the numbers in motion, otherwise the experiment is pointless. And if at the end of the month there is a beautiful, big, fat zero, I will show that too. Yeah, putting my failures on a public display is about as much fun as stuffing a full coat in your underwear, but it's more honest than feeding you stories about explosive growth from nothing. So let's stop pussyfooting around and start with micro steps. The goal for the first month is 1 commission, 1 confirmed, paid and completed order. This is my minimum sanity check. After that, the question will not be, is it even possible? It will be, am I disciplined enough to do this month after month? If you want to be that poor soul who dare to support my path and get an art that will become this channel's lore, you're welcome. Slots for the first commission are officially open. The first client gets not only the art, but eternal glory in the credits of this experiment. And I will remember this as the point where it all began. Maybe in a year I will still be selling my face and time at the clinic, but honestly, that's not the most important thing right now. What matters now is the decision I make today. The decision not to act on emotions and not to feed you stories about how I just believe in myself. And if you want to support this start, not just with a like, but with action, the link to my website is going to be in the description. And that's all for today. Subscribe to follow my battle with brutal reality without SMS or registration, and like this video so this battle lasts longer than just 1 episode. And by the way, they say for every subscription, a 33 years old artist become 5% happier. It's scientifically proven. No. Alright guys, alright, that's all for now. See you in the first report and let's get to work.